Hi everyone, I'm Kate Boyd and I'm here today with Danielle Donovan of CheerFIT. She's the owner and trainer for cheerleaders there. So, Danielle, why don't you introduce us a little bit to CheerFIT? What is it and how does it help people?
So CheerFit is the fitness training program specifically for cheerleaders, and CheerFit is customized with unique exercises that cheerleaders need to really help build the strength, endurance, stamina, and prevent injury that you need for the sport of cheerleading. We focus a lot on, building strength in both body and mind through a series of team workouts, coach workouts, individual workout plans that provide an online training with a personal touch.
That's so great. I know that I always wanted to have good strength training programs at the schools that I had, but they couldn't always afford, trainers and things like that. So CheerFit provides like a really great alternative where you're not trying to come up with workouts because you don't necessarily know what people need, but you also have that affordability factor and that access to training that you wouldn't normally have.
Right, and that's what we really focus on. As a coach, you are so busy. You between work, coaching, practice, coming up with choreography, dealing with parents, all these things, fitness is important, but yet now having to come up with a unique workout plan and specific exercises is honestly a job in itself. And so we take that burden off of you where we appreciate that you know and understand fitness is so important, but here's how to make it work for you. And so we give you a customized workout calendar. So each day you know what exercises to do. You get exercise videos to see what exercises to do, now how to do them. You get tracking logs, and then you also touch base with your online cheer fitness trainer to go through any questions. The entire team gets access to not only the workouts every week, but also a special community where you can share and stay motivated.
That's so great. So tell me, how did you get interested in cheerleading, or were you a cheerleader yourself?
So I was cheerleading myself. I cheered D1 at Syracuse University, and I really got interested in the fitness side of cheerleading after personally, experiencing the dangers of the cheer sport. I tore my ACL while cheerleading in college, not once but twice. And so instead of getting surgery the second time, where I would have been out my entire last season, I opted to rehab it instead. And really just honed in that there's specific exercises that cheerleaders need to strengthen the muscles that you use for stunting and tumbling, which honestly are so different than any other sport where you're not throwing a basketball, you're throwing a person. And you really have to focus on the exercises to strengthen that your body needs to be able to keep up at this elite level. And, coming from the experience of being a cheerleader, personally getting, pretty injured twice, tearing my ACL twice, I just really realized that you can practice for hours, but if you're not strengthening your body to be able to practice, you're going to get hurt, you're going to get frustrated, and ultimately, that's not a win for anyone. And especially as a coach, you want your team to, be accomplished. You want to hit those stunts that first time around. You want to be able to go full out without having, your athletes huffing and puffing on the mat and giving you, just hating being there. You want to make it, fun, and that's where the fitness comes into play, where we really make it a fun experience. We give you, the step-by-step guide of how to get started. We are really here for, you and your athletes and provide all that support.
That's awesome. And I love that it's so personal to you, that this was it started in a place that really helped you refocus yourself, and then to now to be able to use that same experience to help others. That's really great. So tell me a little bit about your fitness experience and your journey into the fitness world. Was that always a passion of yours, or how did you get into the role that you have now?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I always was active. I always loved doing things and, being on the go, but I never quite appreciated the benefits of fitness until I personally, like I said, experienced it. So after tearing my ACL for the second time around, I opted, instead of getting surgery, I tried through fitness and through, physical therapy, starting off small, and then really just finding that passion and realizing that fitness works, and that it honestly, not only helped me overcome an injury, it helped me build my confidence, it helped me gain more energy, it helped me, just be stronger, and just realizing that all cheerleaders need that, and they don't necessarily have access to that. I really just, found that passion for fitness and ran with it. And originally I started as, online fitness training. I moved on to then get my, national certifications and degrees in exercise science and personal training to really hone in on the exercises. And then from there, I moved on to, fitness is so general and it's so open and it's so out there. What's my niche and what do I specialize in? What do I know best? And, it's cheerleading. And then just putting the two together is just kind of a no-brainer to really focus on the exercises that I needed as a cheerleader that I know other cheerleaders need, but not necessarily have access to.
So how many teams today use CheerFIT?
So our program is growing very quickly. We have our ambassador program, which has opened up the gates for so many just different avenues. So we have over 150 teams and athletes using it in all different countries from, across the states from Alaska to New Jersey, France, Italy, Australia. So it's really taking off because it's just, not only finding strength through exercise, but also bringing that community together and just, realizing that the mission, that cheerleaders need fitness and here's how to get it.
That's so great. So now let's maybe transition to a little bit of some details on ways that people can use fitness in their cheerleading practices, or even just some general tips around fitness.
Sorry. Can you repeat that one more time? It broke up.
Oh no. Okay. So now we're just gonna transition a little bit into some of the different tips that coaches can use in practice. So some good exercises and stuff like that. But I guess my first question is, how can coaches fit fitness into their practice?
Yes, honestly, and that's one of the biggest challenges that coaches have is you only have, let's say, 2 hours. You have to do so many things in these 2 hours. How are you going to fit in a workout plan as well? So we offer the options for that. One, where you can do all the workouts at home because they're all body weight resistance. But we also really do recommend that we break up our CheerFIT training workouts into circuits. So it's doable 10-minute circuits that you can start off a practice, end a practice with a 10-minute circuit. Those circuits are broken up into stability, cardio, strength training, abs, and flexibility. And you have that circuit that you can do, let's say on a Tuesday. You do a powerhouse ab circuit on a Tuesday. Not only do you fit in a 10-minute circuit, your team is also getting stronger to make practice more efficient, where now you're stronger, you're hitting the stunts in the first time around. You don't have to spend a half hour trying that same thing. Now you can move on and really maximize practice time by just fitting in a 10-minute circuit.
So what are some of the muscle groups that coaches should really be focusing on in practice when they're working on fitness with their team?
Yeah. The number one muscle group is really just, focusing on that entire core area where it's not just, doing crunches. It's really strengthening your whole abdomen muscles from the inside out because your core is your powerhouse. And if you want to, you want your flyers to be tighter in the air, you want to have more body control, you want your bases to be able to be stronger and not hurt their backs when lifting, you want to focus on your core and building the strength there because everything else stems from that, whether it's, endurance for tumbling, having that power, or, having better body control in the air. I would really focus on the core, and it's not just doing the basic crunches, it's doing, the plank holds, it's doing doing things that really work the entire core muscle group so that you can really maximize everything else.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think a lot of times we tend to focus on like legs and arms because we feel like that's what, obviously you're lifting people and you're jumping, but that core, to your point, is just so important because it provides one thing you were talking about before, stability. So it's super important, especially for flyers, but it's really something that's important for everyone and in every single area of cheerleading. You really use your core in ways that you probably don't even realize you're using it. So focusing on that is super important.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, if you want to improve in one area, you have to build that foundation first. And the foundation comes from strengthening your core. And then, of course, it comes, your quads, your back, your hamstrings, your shoulders, and building those muscles and extensions. But it all honestly stems from the core. And then once that's solid, then you move on.
So, what are some of your favorite exercises for cheerleaders?
I'm sorry. Wait, can you repeat that? What
Yeah.
isn't working?
What are some of your favorite exercises for cheerleaders?
So my favorite exercises for cheerleaders are one that incorporate the core, obviously, but also total body exercises. Another factor, if you don't have time in practice, do a total body exercise where you're working your entire body in half the time. So I love, they're called monkey jumps. So it works, your core, works a little bit of cardio, builds your shoulders, builds your quads. Burpees are an all-time go-to. They're that bittersweet exercise that everyone hates to love, but they really do work. And then also a plank hold. Honestly, that's really just engaging your core and your entire body from your shoulders to your legs and really working that core to build that strong foundation. And you can always, advance the exercises, hold them longer, do more with them. But if you have that foundation, the monkey jumps, burpees, and planks, you're good to go.
I love that. And I love the efficiency in full body exercises. I know that
Yeah.
that's, like you were saying before, it's super important to be able to use your time wisely. So being able to work all your muscles at once is a great thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, people always complain, I don't have enough time to work out. But if you can just be efficient with it, with anything in life, you're able to fit in when you want. And honestly, working out gives you so much more energy to be so much more productive, to get more done. So you fit it in the morning. It's your go-to thing to do when you wake up. Just kind of fit it into your schedule and you're more productive throughout the day.
So, for you personally, what is one of your favorite exercises that you like to do in your own workouts?
So I honestly love doing the CheerFIT workouts that I incorporate and create each and every week for our teams and our clients. And it's all body weight exercises, so you don't need any equipment. You can do them anywhere. My favorite thing to focus is on stability exercises, especially because it really works that core. So doing a lot of like balance exercise, single leg exercises, really work that core, make you focus on working your balance and just total body control, which in turn is working your entire body as well.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing these tips. Maybe tell us where people can learn more about CheerFIT and what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can go to cheerfittraining.com to learn more about our program. You can check out our bios and info. You can check out the online workout training programs. If you sign up and you mention Stunt School 50, you get a great bonus discount. And we also have certifications as well. So right now in the East Coast area, but if you're interested, we have basically a certification to learn the CheerFit method and be able to apply it to your teams as well. So check out cheerfittraining.com online or cheerfittraining on Instagram and Facebook. And let me know if you have any questions. My name's Danielle.
Yeah, and I'll just say that I've had several coaches do CheerFit alongside their stunt school training, and they've all said how wonderful they work together because it is so important to not only have good technique but have the ability to perform the stunts physically. And so combining those two things for your team can be really powerful. So if you have stunt school or you're thinking about it, or even just want to whip your teams into shape, Danielle's programs are great. I know that I've seen some of the workouts and have tried them and they totally kick my butt. But so they really will help your team. So head on over to cheerfittraining.com and learn more there. And also be sure to follow her on social media with CheerFit Training. So yeah, thanks for joining us, Danielle.
Thanks so much for having me, Kate. I loved it.
Have a good day.